So I believe we are live.
All right. Excellent. Let me check.
But
yeah, we are.
We gotta check our sound. That's the key thing, man.
Oh yeah.
You gotta check the sound.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Both of us are coming in hot.
Yeah. So welcome everybody to the Louisiana Ingression.
Woo.
And it's really just me and Henry.
Yeah.
And honestly, I could have publicized this more that I'm doing something, but honestly, this is the first time I gotten to meet Henry in person, and I really wanted it to just be me and him. So I apologize that I did not mark it, but that was deliberate and that was selfish, and yeah, ask for your forgiveness. But I don't know. It's good to start these things small and slow, and Skank, Mr. Matt, who put these together, or asked us to ingress this evening, is neither small or slow. So I felt I had to make up for it here in southern Louisiana. And yeah, so Henry and I spent the day fly fishing, alligator hunting, and airboat riding. No,
yep.
Not.
I feel like I did all those last week at my job, but
oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, we'll talk about that. No, but seriously, we just worked on Worldly News, and it was a blast.
Yes.
Ton of fun.
Yes, that was a lot of fun. I've not goofed off like that in a hot minute. Yeah. I've not flexed my creative juices, burnt mind in such a way in a hot minute. So that was pretty cool. Here's your koozie, sir.
Oh, thank you. No, I
got an extra. We had 3 options.
Yeah,
okay.
Yep. Whoever finishes first.
Drinking out of the Smoothie King one. Not that y'all can see it.
We are not abiding by Chad rules this evening. We are in fact imbibing with fire.
Oh yeah.
But we do have a garden hose that may in fact be connected to a water source relatively close by, and it just rained today. And that's what it does in the summer in New Orleans, is that it will typically rain in the middle of the day, and then within like an hour it's done and it's gone and it's fine. And that's where we are tonight. So yeah, and I get to test out a 2-mic setup for the first time. And so that's been really cool. I think I'm going to adjust. Is my head being cut?
I'm a little bit. Yeah, you're kind of cut off.
I'm almost cut off.
I'm just short enough to
a little bit.
Not.
So I gotta adjust the
While
camera.
You're setting up, I'll read some comments.
Okay.
Let's see. Peanut Gallery is clamoring in their seats. Yes. Hello, Peanut Gallery. Everett Vroon says, "Did you find some crawdaddies? We found no such thing.
Crawdad.
We found
crawdad.
We found the spirit of friendship IRL."
Actually, when I met my wife the first time, or no, it wasn't meeting her the first time. It was at her first crawfish boil. I said crayfish, and she almost disowned me on the spot and said, "No, anyone who uses the word crayfish is never going to be a Louisianan."
Yeah, that would be the word. Yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah, so I'm still not a Louisiander, and I will never probably be so. But I'll be a man without a physical home. Always in the wilderness, in the desert. Yeah, but not. This is like the exact opposite of a desert. So
yes. Speaking of, I think I'm out of the desert.
Yeah, Henry. This, in many ways, it feels to me like you're kind of you have these moments of transition, or these at least in my life, I reflect back, like I had these like specific events or specific pilgrimages that like marked moments of transition in life, and especially when it's such a auspicious transition, it's amazing. So I'm really glad you're here, and yeah, do you want to talk about what's going on?
So I made a video at the start of this year on my channel about being in the wilderness. I think I said something about my word of the year being I think it was hesychia, which if you're orthodox, you probably know that. Pretty cool with that. I've been using it wrong, probably, and not to its fullest extent. But
I don't know what it means. So please.
It's like it's this kind of total oneness with God through prayer and meditation. Gotcha. So ultimately, it's a peace and a total trust in having that. And I've always struggled with that in the faith. That's been one of my weakest points. Oh ye little faith, why don't thou trusteth me? And I started my year in the desert. I fell out of I left my church. Didn't fall out of fellowship, but there's some stuff that hit the fan, and I left out of my fear of, I think, just not being able to continue ministerial duties as a leader of my young adult group. My roommate has set off on a new adventure. I was without a roommate and somebody to help split rent in where I live, and rent is expensive there. So I was going to be displaced indefinitely. My job was difficult, to say the least. High school teacher, Title I is not easy, was not easy. And yeah, everything just kind of was slowly being pruned and taken away in the span of probably 5 months.
Yeah.
Bit by bit.
I remember actually being a little bit worried about you as we were talking, because, like, you know, in each of our lives, we have, there are various aspects of our identity that, and then this really is the identity question. It's like, who am I, or who are you? And you could think of it as like a stool, like a 5-legged stool. And so for some people, that stool is only like 2-legged.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, oh, geez, you knock out one of those legs. And so an example is like your job, like your identity in your work, who you are. An example is an identity in your family. And it's all the relationality stuff. It's like, how connected are you in your job? How connected are you in your family? How connected are you in your faith? So that's the one where, you know, a lot of people just don't. How well connected are you with friends? Like, do you have people that care about you?
Mm-hmm.
What about hobbies and interests and passions? Like, what you're really, really passionate about, the thing that's driving you. So that there's like, that's about it. You know, there's like 4 or 5 key legs. And like, I remember at a point in my life where I had like 3 of those legs knocked out, and I was down to like 1 or 2. And that's like really rough. That's like dangerous territory. And like, so I think I remember suggesting to you, I'm like, okay, go to church. Like, it doesn't matter which church you go to,
mm-hmm.
but like, be in church every Sunday, like, figure out. And then, but yeah, just, it's remarkable though, because God will almost always, I'm going to put another thing on there, because God will almost always take us about as low as we need to go. You know what I really need right now is a left-handed smoke shifter. So if anyone knows a good left-handed smoke shifter salesman,
that's some Ned Flanders lefty emporium stuff, and right there.
Yeah. We don't have them in New Orleans, you know, for whatever reason. They're only right-handed smoke shifting people here. So I don't really understand that, but you know, like I said, I'm a foreigner. So anyway, if necessary, I can get out the blowtorch again, but I don't think it's going to be necessary, because it's hot enough. That'd
be fun for the views, for the audience.
Yeah, it's how we start the fire, New Orleans style. Yeah, that'll do. It'll light.
We're cooking.
It'll go.
We're cooking. We'll be here for a minute.
Yeah, let the smoke. So yeah, like you. So you felt like you were distanced from your church home. You know, you still had your family, but you were not around your family. You still had some your friends. And your job is like, oh, I want to make a change here. And then also like searching for a relationship, but not finding that person.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you want to talk about like where you were? And
sure. Yeah. So I left that church that I called home for 5.5 years in about January. And thanks be to God, no bridges were burned. I talked about this on my live stream one time with Ron. But it was kind of a slow, kind of a dissolve. The bridges weren't burned, but things started to fade out. And I just kind of hung out at this little Presbyterian church plant for a little while. Actually, I went to a big mega church and hung out there with some people from college I knew, and I was not feeling that. That was not it at all. Despite the numerous number of young adults, college ministry stuff, like kind of my age, was hard to get into that community. Everybody was kind of well established, etc. So then, you know, I was looking at this little tiny Presbyterian church of like maybe 15 people inside of school. That was great. It was a really nice transition in place to kind of lay low for just the last few couple weeks that I kind of had left there before things really changed. I had announced my resignation at my job in probably April, end of March.
I'm just imagining you going into the principal's office with like piece of paper and just like, bam, slamming it down on I declare my resignation.
No,
and like Super Saiyan blast, and it just the principal has his hair like blasted back, and he's just like, our last teacher. And it's like, yeah.
It was far more quiet than that.
Oh, okay.
And I went out pretty quietly. We had an intent to like my supervisor was trying to put together a schedule for next year. She was sending out surveys of whether or not we were intending to return, and I was just like, no, I'm not coming back. And I kind of threw myself out on a limb there because I didn't have anything set up. And I guess it didn't matter because I knew I was coming back home anyway.
Leap of faith. But well, it's almost like a burn the ships principle.
Yeah.
Or like crossing the Red Sea. It's like, oh, there's no going back. Like that water is not parting again.
No.
You know? Yeah.
And so I finished my duties dutifully there, I'd like to think.
Honorably.
Yeah. I hope.
It's good. No, it's important.
Bridges weren't burned there either. I still am in contact with my coworkers, whom I love. That was the best darn English department probably in the county I worked in. So shout out to them. They were great. And they're doing really good work. And I hope that they can just continue to maintain whatever kind of resilience there, because it's tough.
Yeah.
So I was just
what's your general, and we don't have to cover this, we can come back to it if you want, but like your general take on the state of education. Are you as concerned as Kale? I'll put it that way. Or
yeah. I think that I think a lot of it is also like socioeconomic. Those with less resources, because I work Title I, there's going to be a huge split, and it's just to be predicated on literacy.
Yeah.
And I lived and worked with those who are not literate, many of them functionally illiterate. It's a really unfortunate thing. And I don't think that the public schools have the leadership or the competency to address that.
Is that the case in every state though? Because
I don't know.
For some, like I've heard in Mississippi, for instance, and in Louisiana, Mississippi more so, but I know Louisiana public schools are actually doing quite well. Like Louisiana now, public schools are something like 15th in the country, and we were probably like 45th to 48th.
Yeah.
In like even 20 years ago, like not good at all. And so it's always been like the joke about the backwater South, like Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. So we don't know nothing about nothing.
Florida don't know nothing about nothing.
So you do feel that way?
Florida's one of the worst, actually.
Oh, wow.
Ranked.
Wow.
And I've experienced it firsthand through some leadership and bureaucracy. So when I was in the College of Education program in school, I remember saying out loud in our classes that the whole thing just needs to be burned down and started from scratch. And that what we have right now is not effective or helpful in any stretch of the imagination.
I've had this theory for a long time that, like, if this is particularly the case for young men, maybe it's also the case for young women. I don't know. But my theory for a long time is like, if you have young men that do not have sufficient discipline to be able to meet their obligations, let's say minimal obligations, like, are you able to do your homework? Are you able to read the things that you need? Are you doing the minimal necessary steps to keep up in school? If you are not in that position, I mean, my sense of that is that then you don't have a parent that's pushing or for lack of a better word, forcing you to take the necessary steps to have the discipline needed to do things. And in that situation, then, I mean, this used to be thrown around as a threat, but like, then you need the equivalent of a parent in the form of an institution to take its place. And that's something like military school. That's something like the forced discipline of, I don't know, high school age kids to be like, nope, like, but I mean, we're so far away from that idea of like, we're not going to let you not be able to read. You know, we're not going to be able, we're not going to let you um, make nothing of your life. Like yeah, I don't know, because I could very easily see a society like if you go back to something like Sparta, the idea of Sparta like raising like non-warriors, you know. So we know it's possible sociologically to like flip that axis on the opposite in the opposite direction, where it's like, no, 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 you are going to be excellent at something whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But that seems so far removed from the current state of um, where we are. But anyway,
No, we don't have that.
yeah,
That's a different conversation
yeah,
per se too. I could get into that, I guess, but
yeah.
I think the thing I got out of education ultimately, before I guess maybe moving to some other stuff, was it just kind of broke my heart how powerless I was to do anything for those kids.
Yeah.
You're in a position in which you have influence, whether or not you like it, and you are, as an educator, perhaps the only consistent adult figure with some sort of togetherness on their life. And that's a big responsibility. And I saw fruit of that for 3.5 years, or 3 years. I had the same students for about 1 to 2 years. I taught them as freshmen. Some of them I had again as sophomores. Some of them I had again as juniors. And they were kind of, I think, hoping that I would stick around and teach them their 4th year as seniors. But that's, you can't just get a senior position. That's highly coveted. But I don't know, it just broke my heart. There wasn't a lot that I could do for them. The system doesn't help them. And there's only so much that you can do as a public servant, as an educator there, to even help them. And I hope that which I was able to do for them was something. I won't know that.
Did you have any student that was like, let's say, curious, like genuinely wanted to know more from you, like would come to you and say like, hey, can you teach me more about this? Or no,
they wanted to know about me. They were interested in me.
Okay.
Which was interesting. And what I was doing. I think they were impressed or surprised that at 25 I was teaching them, when they thought that I could just go do anything else. They'd be like, why are you here? You could be doing anything else.
Wow.
And I'd say, yeah, but I'm here. So
what was your, it's gonna sound strange, how were you able to convey that you cared about them?
Yeah.
And how important was that capacity to convey that you care to them, to their capacity to actually trust you and learn anything?
I think that was a lot of it. Or not that they learned anything. I think perhaps maybe the most valuable things that I offered was just that I cared, and there was
someone that cared.
That there was somebody, and it wasn't necessarily that what I was teaching was worthwhile. Because I'll be honest, the last course I took or taught as a junior, or like as a 11th grade teacher, was not applicable for them. It was way grossly inappropriate for the student demographics that I had. It was essentially a college composition course that I was teaching to our students who needed far more support and help than what I could offer.
Wow.
And with the curriculum, it was grossly inappropriate. And the fact that the district deemed this as the only course that 11th grade could teach is unethical. And for a time, I felt I've had I had imposter syndrome in the ministry, but I felt like I was doing harm trying to get them to write college level essay writing when most of my kids still needed fundamentals still figured out.
Yeah.
Understood. But
was that a result of the school system basically advancing kids even when they weren't at the level to advance?
Absolutely.
Like basically pushing them through.
Absolutely. Yeah. The middle school that majority of them come from sucked, to say the least.
Yeah.
Like there's horror stories still, and when I was there, of like, look out, next kids are worse, or look out, like you're doing nothing there, look out. Like,
wow.
There's more, fill in long-term subs than there are official on staff trained teachers.
Jeez, man.
So yeah, I left that, and it was weird because I went to school for education, and then I did that for 3.5 years. So the 6 years that I was away, I kind of dedicated my life to doing that. Now I'm like done with it. It's really weird. The skills are still there, the perhaps intuition and that which was gleaned is still there and is applicable now to what I'm doing in some respects. And so to that extent, it cannot be escaped, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm out of education, at least in the public sense. So when I get out of the desert, I was making a couple kind of more return trips to my hometown. My hometown is rural, conservative, good old boys in some respects, up along the Gulf in Florida, boating and go to bars and country music and trucks. Like I grew up on that and I really didn't enjoy it. I very much am not that still in a lot of respects. But I came to really appreciate that through some of the friendship I had with my family or my parents. And as I was getting closer to coming back home, I was kind of looking forward to it. I really was.
Yeah.
I was ready for a reset. My family was quite delighted to hear that I was coming back and that I was no longer out on quote unquote the big city, according to some of my old church family.
So that was Tampa proper. Is that
Tampa, Wesley Chapel? Yeah, that whole area is kind of blended together in my mind.
Yeah.
So breaking away from that, there's a lot I didn't like about it, and so what is it Chesterton says? You know, sometimes you have to kind of make a trip around the mountain or up to the top of the mountain to see like your home is in fact distinct and unique in the adventure you were looking for.
Yeah.
Everlasting Man. I'm kind of having that right now still.
Yeah.
Or a homecoming, as a friend of mine would describe. So I was looking forward to that. I'll tell this story. It's kind of funny because this will lead into kind of the big thing.
Yeah.
I went on a date with somebody who was very, very proper, very reformed, probably far more trad than I am in any sense of the word. I am not. I'm a crappy Baptist, a horrible.
There are there are very few like trads in the corner.
To take her to a stomping ground in my hometown.
Yeah.
That I found very important to me. For whatever reason. I think I hit a point where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be as genuine or as open as much as I can with my roots and background, etc., as I can. And if people take that in, so be it. If they don't, or not, so be it. If they don't, so be it. You know.
Yeah.
It was the most expensive date I've ever had because I bought oysters,
wow.
And she was not impressed. I don't think, and that was the last date I ever had with this person. But that's okay because I was also talking to this other person, and she's great. And I have a girlfriend now, and she's wonderful. And she's completely kind of subverted that which I was kind of thought I was looking for years. And she's kind of the key part of the homecoming. I think if she was not around, I think my homecoming per se, back to my old stomping grounds and where I grew up, it would be far more intolerable. I was looking forward to it in the lead-in before she showed up, but now doubly so. I'm like, oh, okay.
So you made the decision to stop your job even before you met her.
Yep.
Wow.
I was going to go home and I was just going to reset my life. I was going to take inventory.
Yeah.
And assess what needed to be done. What were my next steps? What did I really want to do? What could I maybe seek out? I was going to go globetrotting. I had a friend of mine suggest that I go travel.
Yeah, I mean,
some of the world.
When you're young and single, that's the time to do it.
He said, you know what? If you're going home, go take a trip. Just if you don't want to be home, just go overseas, get your passport and all this. And I started putting plans in place to do that. I considered going to Denmark or Ireland.
Yeah.
And I really talked it up for a couple weeks. I was really thinking about planning it. I was looking into Airbnbs. I was going to go to the Lego house, which is like the big museum presentation space for the Lego group. So Denmark is like the birthplace of Lego.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? Little me would love this. This is exactly what he would want. I mean, I still am. I like the history of that company and the toy. But I was going to do it. I was set on it. And then, yeah, this girl showed up and I was like, oh, this is great. Forget all these travel plans. I'll stick around. And not too long after that, I was looking for work. I wasn't just going to be a bum and do the basement dwelling in my family's home. I wouldn't want to do that. But I ended up getting a gig in the public sector again, and have started that just this last week. And it's very sort of service oriented. I'm working with kids again, at least for the time being. And so things are kind of smoothing out in some ways. I'm out of the desert. Am I still in a transition period? Probably, most certainly. By no means am I going to declare I'm settled, but I have the one thing I wanted for a long time, and it's hard not to just
accept the gift as it's presented.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you reach the point of being like, okay, God, this is not your plan. I surrender, like I give up. And then God's like, actually, now that I brought you all the way to the bottom, here you go.
There you go. Well, it's kind of crazy. Faith is a weird thing because I think I would say even now it's probably not great, but I suppose I might be doing a better job than I think I'm doing. I don't know if you ever have that.
Yes.
I had resigned myself in some respects to coming back, and I'd found, oh, there we go.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to poke things.
I had come to kind of, and I think some of that was figuring out, what did I appreciate or miss about where I grew up and versus where I was at, and what I was looking forward to again. And
hang on.
I was all, yeah. While you set up the fire, I'm going to see if I can't read any questions. Check the chat real quick.
No, we're good. I'm going to put on some, let's see. I don't know why I'm carrying my beard all around. My beard.
You're carrying your beard around?
The James Beard Award.
Anyway, so Faith. What is it Jesus says? Which is the more faithful person? The one who said he was going to do the thing and then didn't do it, the one who didn't do the thing and then did do it anyway? Like most of the time, I've spent most of my life kicking and screaming and just be like, frick, fine, I'll do this.
I mean, kicking and screaming, but you were actually like trying to do things that help people.
True.
Like, and getting discouraged doing it because it's so hard to genuinely help people. It's so hard.
Yeah.
And I'm convinced that the only way to genuinely help people is they have to actually want to be in a place to change, to be helped, to actually change something about themselves. And that's so rare. And that's like 90% of the battle, is that once someone is in a place where they're like ready to actually change something about themselves, the battle's already won. Because that God's going to send them people in order to, like, if their pride is done, if the pride is finished, like, not my way, Lord, but yours. Like, I will change. I will do whatever I need to do, like your way. Like, my experience with that is like, people will be like, and God will do it in the humblest possible way. Meaning, like, if God can do it without you even knowing that it's God's hand manipulate, like, that is the sneakiness of God. It's like, there is nothing that gives God greater pleasure than setting up the chessboard in such a way that no one knows he's setting it up precisely that way, and he gets no credit, and it unfolds precisely for the goodness of his plan. Like, that's the humility of God, in my experience. He is a sneaky dude. Now you could say, oh, it's just luck, and it just you know, right when I give up and I meet someone that's precisely right for me at the right moment in my life where I'm ready to like make radical changes that are going to move me in a different direction. And it's like, no, I don't believe in luck.
Neither do I.
I don't believe in it.
I've never. So yeah, as soon as I was kind of ready to just accept the reset and whatever hope and kind of maybe something good that would come of it, like a lot of potential came up, a lot of good came up, and it's been really fun. I've been kind of AFK, to use a gamer term, in the corner since all this happened in the last 2 months, and for good reason.
I'm gonna try something that's like probably reckless, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, geez, that's too hot.
Oh no, put it out.
That was really reckless. No, it's not out. The fire is too hot for it to be out.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's probably gonna take a little bit to. It's not out, everybody. It's not.
We're not done, guys. We're still here. Stay tuned.
Yeah. No, it will come.
This will work better as a podcast.
Yeah, trust me. It's not me. It's the Holy Spirit. Trust me, I've done this before. Yeah, the fire will definitely come back, because it's so hot at this point. So that's the thing about fires is like it's very hard to get a fire going under certain conditions. Once a fire is sufficiently hot, you can really screw up. And as long as you poke and feed it oxygen, what I really need to do is I need to feed it some oxygen. And if I feed it some oxygen, and even if I messed it up considerably, it gets going.
Sheesh, yes, we're back.
Yeah. So I was the nerdy kid that, thanks be to God, like my parents put me in Boy Scouts because I really didn't like Boy Scouts. I didn't like bugs. My daughter doesn't like bugs. I worry about that. I think everybody needs to be exposed to stuff that they don't like so they get comfortable with it so that they know what to do with it. Yeah. Anyway, and no, and I think God does in that theme. I think God does that. God puts us in situations and positions that we don't like deliberately so that we're forced to grow through the discomfort, because God doesn't care. That's not actually true. God does care how much I was going to say God doesn't care how much we suffer. God does care how much we suffer, but that's not what God is ultimately caring about. Yeah. What he's ultimately caring about is the glory of his plan and the roles that we can play in the glory of his plan. And so if God knows that you can take a little bit more suffering for for that plan to be unfolded in such a way to make it that much better of a story in the reality, then that's going to happen. And sometimes he pushes us in ways that we don't like to be pushed. And that's okay. But that makes the story. Yeah. I was saying to you earlier, like, there are people in the corner that just kind of sparkle to me. I don't know. This hasn't failed me yet. Like, for whatever reason, people that have sparkled to me, like I've yet to really get close to someone where like I get to know them really well and I'm just like, oh man, what a disappointment. That hasn't happened. And you know, for you, Henry, it's been like, you know, you meet people that are audacious and are willing to go out on a limb and are willing to take the leap of faith or are willing to do the thing. But I was saying to you that like usually they're arrogant. They don't have self-knowledge. Like they're just willing to do something that's like totally out of character, and it's and you know it's not going to work, and yet but occasionally you see the person that's willing and able to take like the leap of faith, even recklessly, and then for whatever reason you're like, yeah, that's not that reckless for that person. Like that's actually right. And so like, and I've had points in my life that are like that, you know, So no, I think you're precisely where you need to be, doing what you need to be, at the right place at the right time. So
Appreciate that. I think so too. And I think it took years to build kind of the safety net network to be able to do this.
we got to watch out for the cardboard. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. We had a rain today. It'll be all right. Yeah.
One of the things I'm kind of surprised by in the midst of this is kind of the subversion
Yeah.
that has existed in so many ways, in different aspects. If you told me just even a couple months ago that I'd be coming home, let alone maybe when I started this journey, moving out 6 years ago and where I'm at now as an adult, I'd have been like, nah, I'm never going to come back to where I came from. Get that out of here. But,
yeah. What was it that made you really want to go into the city and go out of your hometown?
I think it was just that George Bailey kind of from It's a Wonderful Life mentality.
Yeah.
That is just what you do at 18, 19. I
Yeah.
had that, kind of had adopted that cultural mindset of this is what you just do as an adult, is you go out and you
I had that too.
become your own man.
Yeah.
And when I was with Ethan on his like quest for the Techne,
Yeah.
you know, I said I really identify with George Bailey as a character and the value and the worth in that which he brought to his community. Like I want that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing with him is that he never leaves his hometown, like ever. And he gets stuck in there. And I used to kind of cling to that story of like, all right, this is fine if I'm here. Like perhaps something good could come. And that was something I just early on adopted and tried to think of. And I didn't do a very good job at like 19. But now it's like, okay, can I come back and do something here? Well, not here, but where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Is that possible? You know, there was a want at the time, and I think just about every young man probably wants that idea of some sort of fame or acclaim or prolific importance.
Yep.
And I don't know. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And even now, there's a weight that comes with that. We could talk about that in kind of the work that I've done or other people do. That you are important insofar as just in terms of like the persona or the kayfabe you put on.
Yeah, yeah.
And the responsibilities that come with it because of that which you represent. It's not something that it's easy to shoulder per se.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be very careful about how you compose yourself. But those kind of roles have a lot of value. And hopefully are not taken for granted from other people. But yeah, it took like 6 years to, I guess, kind of finally be humbled and resigned enough to come back to a space that I took for granted or had deemed not valuable or important or worthwhile.
6 years ahead of me.
So, because then I came back and you know what?
Mm-hmm.
My old church I grew up in, there's
Yeah.
a lot of people are still there. And you cast the net wide.
Yeah, yeah.
You cast the net wide and you can come back and it's really, really great. And that's a God thing, you know.
Yeah.
That's not me. And whatever I have personality wise, just like stuff wise, like I'm not going to take credit for that. Whatever sticking power I've had in the communities I've been in or whatever, like that's not me.
Oh, that's great.
But I can kind of go home anywhere, technically, at this point. If I wanted to go back to where I was for like 6 years, I could. If I stick around where I'm at now,
yeah,
I'd be all right. There's people I know there, and
well, my advice is save money, stay close to your family, focus on painting a 5-year vision with your, future life partner, basically.
Yeah.
Like what is the vision of your life that you want in 5 years, and take the steps that you can take now to build that vision. Because there are certainly steps, and it feels to me like you're doing that, but like now's the time to do it, because we don't know what the world's going to look like in 5 years, but whatever steps you take now, they're going to put you in a position where you are better prepared for whatever is coming.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think what you're doing right now is probably like keeping it simple with the people in your life that you trust and know is like the single best strategy for dealing with the uncertain times that we're in. And focusing on the most fundamental aspects of human life. And those things are things like family, marriage, community, church, like your faith, you know, those are the fundamentals. And if you get those fundamentals right, a lot of other things can go wrong and those fundamentals can be right. Like I could drop that and the fire still goes, you know? So, let me see if I can split this thing. Oh yeah. That's cool. Because it's sufficiently weakened that like if I can make some holes in it, then it's gonna light. Yeah, so some parts of it are, yeah, other parts are not so weak. That's funny. Let me put a, like I have all this old furniture that I want to burn. This is like the most Louisiana fire ever.
It's kind of the best fire I've ever been privy to. I'm quite honored. Okay, I'm quite honored.
Cool. This is another dumb move I'm
Dang, this
gonna
thing's
make.
cooking.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, while it's cooking, I gotta reposition how it's gonna cook for the next hour.
Do you need help?
No, I just need to bide my time carefully, as with anything. You know, every battle is won before it's ever fought. You got to pick your place, time, and conditions that you're going to fight the battle, and then once you got those, then you make your move. So here we go. Woo. That was not so good, but that's all right. It'll work. So, like I said, sufficiently hot that.
So God has a really good sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
One of the things I'm coming to learn right now, and I love it, I really do. It's great. Is kind of in line with coming home and appreciating roots. Ooh, somebody got busted. I heard some sirens. Done for.
I paid off the right people in Louisiana. We're okay.
In coming home, I had come to better appreciate kind of the space I was in, but like by no means would I still like adopt or take on kind of the country kind of lifestyle by any means, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm currently getting a great, lovely taste of that right now in this relationship. Me of just 2-3 years ago, even just a year ago, had an idea of what I thought I wanted in a relationship, and that's all gone completely out the window, which is really funny. So if you're out there in the corner and you're like,
you're looking for the one.
If you're looking for the
one,
you're probably not actually looking for the one, and you don't know who they are, like in like the complete, like the truest sense. Like for like, at least for me, I was like, all right, whatever presuppositions and assumptions I had about who they were, what they looked like, their disposition, their background, their experience, like throw that all out the window.
There are a couple of guys in the corner that like I have a general sense of how they're progressing with their life, and like I know like the way this person is going is like I got one guy in particular in my mind, Spoons, who like I know how he's going, generally speaking, and I just know the way he's going. Like, oh yeah, he's got to be married, family. Like you can. And honestly, I saw this with you. Is like maybe this just comes with time, but like you can look at someone and see where they're going and how they've changed over a certain amount of time, and then you could be like, oh yeah, like of course that person is gonna be in a relationship in like 2 years, of course, because like things don't happen until they're ready to happen, until you're actually capable and ready of walking that path and doing that thing. And you know, and some people get there sooner than others, but like you see their trend and you're like, there is no way that this man is not snatched up within like X amount of time. Like the way this person is going, you know? So it really it really is a matter of pursuing the right things and then just waiting for God's grace. Like it really is that, because you cannot force it and you cannot control. But like if you're aimed at the right things, like if you ask for an egg, is God going to give you a serpent?
Right.
You know,
it might not be the egg you're asking for, but it's an egg.
Yeah, the thing is, like that statement when Jesus is talking about that, about like asking for an egg, what that really is about is like if you're aiming for something that's genuinely good in your life, is God really going to, give you a serpent? And no. And that, apologies for my burping on this luscious beer. Yeah. God bless you. God bless everyone.
There we go. Hope y'all enjoy.
Amen. 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 Burp again. Amen.
Yes, McMo, I am, or no, not McMo, my bad. Matt C, I am in fact sitting this wide in my seat. I am asserting my dominance.
Yeah, he asserted his dominance upon me earlier, and I secretly enjoyed it very much, very much. Oh, okay, I'm looking at chat. See, I have so much to learn. Olson, you got Secret Cave Woman, and Mr. Jasma, Real Campfire Magic. So what else did you have on your topic list, Mr. Ingressor, sir?
Yeah, talked about how nice things have been in my life, and I've not contributed to the quarter because things are going swimmingly right now in my not corner life. It's great. I'm so much less neurotic and existential and heady right now. Like whatever's happening with this whole like ortho proddy thing going on with like Gavin Ortland and Jonathan Bajo, like I don't care. I got other fish to fry and a really pretty girl to talk to. Like who cares? Ecclesial anxiety, what's that?
Yeah. That's how to do it. That's how it's done, son.
Who cares? S-Patch 11517 said, Henry, what is your opinion on the Bricks and Minifigs scandal? I've been waiting for the Bricks and Minifigs bubble to pop. I used to work for a Bricks and Minifigs.
Really?
That used to be corporate owned, and then it became a franchise.
Wow.
I hated that job after about 2 months in. That was also when there's black mold in my apartment. I went insane and depressed, and I was a basket case. That's a different story. Somehow it doesn't surprise me. And I think that there are some deep, dark secrets probably that are connected to it from what we understand about the police stuff and where it's located.
Brick by brick.
We haven't gotten to yet that aren't even related to Lego. Maybe one day I'll talk about my BAM stories, my Bricks and Minifigs stories.
Sorry about shifting the smoke there.
It doesn't surprise me. I know some people in that world still, or who were a part of that world, that had a similar experience. Not nearly as severe, seemingly, but yeah, I don't know. I've been kind of looking at it from afar. Like I said, my life, like I don't even care about this. I've got other fish to fry, but just kind of looking on the outside and inside out. I'm like, oh, it's cooked. I've been waiting for this bubble to burst. And
there is nothing in the darkness that will not be brought to the light.
So we'll see what happens. I'm very curious. I think the Lego thing is the least problematic, or at least the thing of least concern at this point. I'm not going to get into it on this thing right now, though.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts on that. I just wanted to answer that question.
Cool.
What was I? Oh, I guess we could talk about, because it's connected to what we were discussing now. How did I describe it? I have my notes. Let me pull them up.
I'm gonna give the people air.
Was saying my bullet point was masculine expectations and not doing that really. I think there's a particular maybe cultural assumption, obviously, of what masculinity is and how you should do certain things or not do certain things. And I feel like in the whole process of my life, especially in the last 2 months, I've done none of those things. Actually,
I love it.
And perhaps maybe at their essence, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
But it has not, I don't think, been exhibited in a way that is representative kind of what definitely not what Manosphere wanted or thought would work. And perhaps not even necessarily what Peterson and others had hoped for. Brutal, not brutal, but just an honesty and a transparency, and as you described it, as a confidence, has kind of been maybe the key elements to, and that which has been cultivated and developed, like where I'm at now, which has been really nice. And an authenticity that's, and I just don't know if that's always necessarily clearly communicated beyond the like, be yourself.
Well, okay, this is gonna sound, this is not accepted by conventional culture. I'll put it that way. I think men need women in order to reach their full potential, to be inspired. How do I say this? Like, there is nothing, I'm going to speak for myself, but you tell me how much this resonates with your soul.
Mm-hmm.
There is nothing that motivates me more as a man than, or as a person, but I think this is a man thing. There is nothing that motivates me more than the desire to like be a hero for my wife.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
The desire to like, she has a problem and I can actually solve that problem, and she doesn't want to deal with that problem, and I can solve it. I can figure it out and be like, look what I did, because I love you, and I am competent as a husband, and I solved the toilet leaking or whatever it might be. And it's like, and you know, if Peterson talked about like encouragement, and the thing for the ladies, like, if when your husband or your boyfriend does those like little things that's like, they're really trying to like show you like, look, I solved a problem that you need, I did the hero thing, you just throw them like a little bone, like, oh, you're great, honey, thank you so much, like that's amazing, like just that little bone, like, oh, I'm so grateful you're in my life, sort of thing. Like, man, that puts us like over the moon. But there needs to be, so for men, in order to do that, there needs to be that like seed of competence. Like when those problems do arise, it's like, okay, yeah, absolutely, honey, I'll take care of it. Like, consider it done. You know, like you don't have to worry about it. And once you solve a few of those problems, then when you actually say, hey, consider it done, like you don't have to worry about it. Like I will take care of it. It's then like she has the trust and the expectation. So like what women give to men, I feel like, is that ultimate reach, like that ultimate capacity to strive more and strive higher. It's like, oh, I actually haven't solved that problem before, but like, you gosh darn better bet that I want to solve that problem for you, and I'm gonna do whatever I need to solve that problem for you, because like I care way more about you than like myself or anything else. Like I just want to solve that problem for you. So like that's what men really strive for or need, and are also brought to the highest by like that call from a lady like, hey. But then for women, I feel like what they need from men is that trust, that stability, that center, that like, oh, when I do have a problem, even if I don't have that problem yet, if I do have that problem, like I know you are with me. Mm-hmm. Like you are with me, and I don't have to worry nearly as much because I know I've got you. And that happens with children. That happens with, so like my wife's out of town right now, like, but it's like, thanks be to God, you know, like great relationship with our daughter, that it's fine. And yeah, it's that ability to like, so for a woman, it's like that ability to have a trustful center that stabilizes and protects, but it's really about stabilizing. And it's really about like, I don't have to worry nearly as much because I know he's got the things that I trust him with. And for a man, it's like, there's no greater mission, no greater heroic act than being like, there's a problem and I'm gonna slay that dragon. I don't play, I slay. I don't move, I groove. That's one of those corny songs that my daughter is like, what? So my daughter does dance, and like we went to lunch, and no, I think this was on the way coming back from her grandma's, and where I was joking to Henry, is like, there's nothing that irks my daughter more. There's nothing that irritates her more than I take these dance songs that are the most corny, ridiculous dance songs, and then I quote them to my daughter. And I don't move, I groove. I don't play, I slay. Anyway, sorry. But I'm about the most corny dad. But yeah. Sorry. So does that resonate in terms of
Absolutely.
what you're
I've been really enjoying kind of watching myself, like figuring out the role that I'm kind of assuming
Mhm.
in this relationship. And me of like 3-4 years ago, or even just a year ago, probably would scoff at and be like, "What the hell is this?"
Mhm.
Pardon my French, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's like, this isn't what I thought this would be. I'm like, no, it's not actually, and I didn't think it was like this either. But like, it'll be fine. Actually, give it another couple years, you'll be all right. You'll enjoy this.
Yeah.
I am in a lot of respects the kind of the grounding factor, and I've always been somebody who has felt so ungrounded and unstable.
Yeah.
And
now that you get to play the part of the grounder.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really do. And so when Peterson says, like, you've got to, women want somebody who can stare down Leviathan and not blink. That's an extreme way to phrase, whatever. Being the top lobster. Like, I get it now. I would not by any means use what Peterson says. It's like those analogies. Because sometimes it really is not nearly as heroic as that. Sometimes it really is just being a calming presence or just a stable hug. And
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Exactly.
Peterson doesn't use that language, but that was the stuff I would use. Like, is it stressful? Well, I feel like maybe, hopefully, as a guy, the least I could do is be able to just not be stoic, but just be like, all right, like I'm here. You can rest on me. Like,
you are the safe place that she can always return to.
Yeah, and I think that's better language maybe than the Leviathan that stares down. But whatever, I appreciate the heroic language, but as I move away from Peterson, I'm less inclined to use that. But yeah, no, that resonates with me a lot. I really enjoy being the hero, as small as an idea as it is. And perhaps right now as...
Oh, no! I just fail at fire all the time.
Perhaps.
Actually, wait. Shoot, that was a real fail. Like, I was almost burning my hand. Sorry, keep talking about
it. Oh, yeah. Perhaps maybe something to be gleaned from this too, or at least I'm getting right now, is like, there's a lot of joy in satisfaction in being like the quote unquote, I wouldn't use the language either necessarily, like being the hero in like really small things.
Zero to hero.
But like, I really enjoy that. I really enjoy being whatever is needed in the moment and assuming that role. It's really cool. And
all right, we're gonna see if the glass will melt.
Oh yeah.
This is a question I wanted to pose. And in the meantime, while the glass is not melting, we're gonna make a lean-to. Come on. Yeah! We did it.
Yeah,
sorry,
brother.
I don't think the camera can actually see it, but from this angle, it's sick.
We have a little,
it's like our fire has a window.
Yeah.
But we have a slanted roof. Goes from here to there. To the window. Sorry, that's an inappropriate song. To the wall. Get me a little drunk and I go back to my...
I'm ready for my second beer.
No, yeah. All right, we're moving into the 7th inning stretch. No, maybe 2nd inning.
Just about.
No, we're keeping this going to 4 a.m. What are we talking about? Yeah, no.
You finished yours?
I finished mine.
I'm almost done with mine. So,
all right.
Got to at least finish these off.
Absolutely.
But yeah. I don't know. Perhaps maybe it would be beneficial to take some of what Peterson says in his very grandiose heroic stuff. Like sometimes maybe...
Oh, dude, it's cracking. Do you see it? Look, wait.
Shoot.
Okay, so the glass is actually man. I'm not gonna. Okay, I kind of want to change my position so I'm not potentially in the firing range. Of that crack.
Upcycle just said that's dangerous. Neil needs to move.
He just said okay.
He
yeah.
did.
Yeah. All right.
Well.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna rotate the camera.
Yeah. And Upcycle just said, dude, thank God.
Dude, you're just saving my life.
No S-Patch 1517. We do not have any sparklers. The most sparkle you get.
Yeah, like if that glass cracks,
we're cooked.
Yeah, it probably will.
Perhaps maybe it might be beneficial to I don't want to say humble Peterson's words, but I don't know. I think not that I'm old by any means. 25 is not something to put my leg on. But I feel like I think something hit at 25. Your brain finally develops. But I don't know. Some of the heroic language I really enjoyed and thought was inspiring figuring it out. But now I'm like, I don't know. It's as simple as perhaps as Lewis says is in like the Four Loves of like such things take time. You work through certain things. I don't know. Something more small scale, not grassroots, but yeah, you're not necessarily like a hero in the Greek or Roman sense, or even the like superhero sense. But
well, here's the thing. I think I look at the new alt-right now. What would you call them? The new right or whatever.
Sure.
And
far right.
Yeah, and they started with Peterson, and then basically they turned against Peterson because like here are all his flaws. Here are all the ways Peterson was wrong. A and B and C and D and E and F and G and da, da, da. And it's like, oh, so the person who taught you all these things, who laid the foundation, is wrong or insufficient in certain areas. So then you're going to throw everything out, everything with the bathwater. And I just see an absolute lack of gratitude for everything that Peterson contributed. And I'm not, by the way, I'm not saying at all that this is what you're saying, but like we have been thinking about what Peterson has given us. We've been thinking about that for 7 years.
Yeah.
And so when you have a collective intelligence like The Corner, like TLC, of very smart people who have been collectively thinking about what Peterson has given us for 7 years, we are going to move past where Peterson is. And that's okay. But like, is that a reason for us to be like, oh, look, Peterson he was remarkable. What he did by himself, truly, truly remarkable in the stepping stones that he gave us, because I couldn't think about things like the masculine and the feminine without the framework, without the language that he's given us. And then, but you're right. You're absolutely right that it's insufficient. Because it is a dragon and it is a Leviathan, but it's also like, honey, can you reliably take out the trash? And can you fulfill the simple obligations?
Can you listen as somebody reflects on their day and not be distracted by something else?
And not always be in a judgmental mode. Yeah.
One of the things I think to that point of like, you don't want to throw out Peterson with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Or devalue that which was provided. One of my friends, IRL, has a lot of issues with the church right now. And, people like Peterson, people like Tom Holland have done a lot, and probably more than a lot of small. This is hyperbolic in some respect, maybe. Perhaps they're cooking, to use some Zoomer slang.
Cooking with gas.
Cooking far more than.
Speaking of which, I'm going to take a picture of this cooking with gas, and also I'm going to take a picture of the cooking with glass.
Olsen helper. There are marshmallows. We just have not made s'mores yet.
Well, okay. So here's the truth about the marshmallows. We got everything we needed out here, and my daughter came out with us. But like, obviously, I don't really want her on the live stream, so I had her had a seat situated for her that was off to the side. And then she gets out, and then the bugs come out, and she's like, I don't want the bugs. And I'm like, but I want, and she goes back inside, and she wants the s'mores without the bugs. So she's like, can I microwave it? And I'm like, yeah, just do 10 seconds. So she took some marshmallows, and she gets to have a late night because, well, we do have to go to church tomorrow, but she doesn't have to be there till 10. So she can have a little bit of a late night. It's a little treat night, Saturday night. We got Henry here. And yeah, so that's where we're at.
We do have chocolate.
Yeah.
Probably melted at this point.
Well, yeah, probably. It's okay.
I'm scared to
I'll
eat
cl-
Doritos on this thing. So I don't know how much the crunch is going to get picked up on this. That's a pet peeve of my own. I wouldn't want to crunch in somebody's ear on their YouTube live stream on a nice Saturday night. Adopted that one from my father.
Crunch. Oh, you're eating Doritos.
Yeah.
So you need something like. Well, that's why sipping a nice alcoholic beverage with sorry, Chad.
Sorry, Chad.
Chad's got his own ingression right now. Chad's got Ezra and he's got Ethan.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think so. Oh, Mark S. Of course, Mark S.
Let us have what we have.
Yeah, Chad's got like 4 guys, man. And I've got Henry. So there you go, Chad. You know, actually, I told you this, but I'll talk about this on stream. Chad called me this morning and he's like, "Oh, so you got Henry visiting you in New Orleans. So do you have a new best friend, Neil? Is like Henry your best friend now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Chad. Yeah, I'm defecting. I'm moving to Florida, man. He's way better than you. He actually teaches people things, unlike this Tyler up there in Wisconsin." Yeah. No, but seriously, I did talk to Chad this morning. It was really funny combo.
My chair's sinking into the ground.
That's what you get for coming to Louisiana.
That's all right.
See, I created the ultimate lean-to with a window, so you could. And I took a picture inside, but I'm gonna take another picture for.
Can you do one of those YouTube posts later? Be like for
man.
those who are on the stream.
Like oh, dude, it is melting. It's actually melting.
Oh, cool.
The window is totally melting, which is sick. Like, it looks like, you know what it looks like is like a burned out, like the burned over district for New York in 1800s, like a burned out window that's been like, oh man, it looks sick. So yeah, we're gonna turn the glass into sand. From dust we began, to dust we shall return. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna plug somebody. Technically, it's also a joke, but
yeah,
one of my favorite artists put out some new albums. A new album, Jess Ray. Go check her out. We gotta back up a little bit. It is getting hot.
Yeah.
Jess Ray put out a new album. One of the cleanest bars is the chorus line. It goes it's technically because the opening line is "Naked I enter and I will return," right?
Yeah.
Dust to dust. But later she goes.
Back this up too.
Later she says,
"We didn't start the fire.
No,
it was always burning.
It's always burning since the world's been turning." No, the chorus goes, "It is what it is has been my song, but it's turning into Thy kingdom come." Go check it out. It's like she's my favorite artist. She's great.
What's her name?
Jess Ray. Go check her out, guys.
Ray.
I
Jesse's girl.
I
Oh, I want Jesse's girl.
I told Neil earlier, like part of my bingo card is just plugging her music. You have a conversation with me IRL, and you're even remotely in the Christian faith, or even not, low key. Honestly, she's gonna come up. So go listen to her music. Her new album came out end of May. Pretty great.
Sick.
The day that the Lord has made is so good. One of the lines is, "Go outside, try and count the stars. It's a lesson in how loved you are." Whew, sheesh, that's cooking, bro. Cooking.
Once she drops the double bass, it's insane.
No, it's
like once she begins shredding.
There's no shredding. It's super. There's no shredding. I listen to super mellow indie like folk music. It's a lot of like guitars.
It's like imagine
sad feelings and being in your feelings. That's what I do. There's no shredding.
All right, just imagine Bob Dylan on acoustic guitar, absolutely shredding.
Oh man. There's a choice we make in. We paving our own lives.
That's pretty good.
It's true. We make a better day. Just you and me. That's my Bob Dylan.
That's pretty good.
That's Bob Dylan.
Yeah. I'm more of a Rolling Stones guy. I'm more of a you can't always get what you want. You can't always get what you want. But if you try sometime, you just might find you get what you need. Oh yeah, falsetto, man. I gotta
Very
warm
good.
up the vocal cords
Very
for
nice.
singing.
Very nice.
Man, I'm your cantor for your mass tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, we actually have a professional.
yeah.
But I usually do it, and like, cause I request, I'm like, I want to sing, and I'm really bossy, and so I like pull rank, and he's just like, we actually do have a professional guy, but often he lets me cantor. And the people in the church take pity on me, and they're like, "Oh, we have to allow Neil to develop his special skill." And then I just kind of like belt out a couple verses, and they're like, "Boo!" during the psalm, like "Boo!" It's the only time during a Catholic mass you'll ever see people like boo someone. It's the only time it's me. Yeah, and then and then our cantor actually walks in, and he sings it properly, and they're like, "Yeah!" And then it releases a joyous noise into the Lord, and everything's well.
I love Catholic liturgy and like music. I really do. I went to a mass with my girlfriend for a like a confirmation day. We just pulled up because she had some friends that she knew that were, or like family that had people there.
Yeah.
I told her afterwards, like, this is my like one of my favorite things is this music, and like I don't really like the non big box church. I can mess with the music. I can mess with the smoke machines and the vibe. I did that in college, but like I like being able to finish like a psalm, like a liturgy, like a responsatory song.
Yeah.
And go based. Like at the end of it. I get to go at the end of it.
And there's
under my
the
breath.
drop.
Like, gosh, I can't think of any of them offhand, but I'd be like, oh, I know what the scripture, I know what this is based on. Based. My favorite thing. I'll be like, yeah. cooking. Nice. Anyway, so I love it. Yeah. I like the liturgy, but
I really like our parish. I'm looking forward to you seeing our church because it's a 100-year-old church. It predates a lot of the kind of modern, postmodern architecture post World War II. I really don't like that kind of like 50s, 60s, 70s churches and more recent churches that are built. I'm not really a fan. It's kind of a humble community Catholic church.
Yeah.
But it's old enough that it feels rusted, but it just had a new paint job and it's got plenty of light, and so it feels like both rustic and kind of beautiful and illustrious at the same time. And it's not a huge church, so it does feel like we're kind of one big family. And and there's a lot of things I like about it. It's in the Salesians. Most Catholic churches are specifically for the diocese or whatever they're in. So if you're in New York, diocese of New York, or if you're in Minneapolis, diocese of Minneapolis. But there are a few churches that are order specific churches, like people have heard of the Dominicans or the Jesuits,
or the
Franciscans, exactly. And my church, their order is called the Salesians.
Yeah.
And the Salesians are not well known outside of Catholicism, but they are huge within Catholicism. The reason that they're not well known is because I think how well known an order is within Catholicism is based on how old it is. Because the older the order, it's been around in history for like the Franciscans have been around since 1200. So you've got St. Francis of de Sales, and St. Francis of Assisi. Sorry, I'm mixing them up. Multiple St. Francis's. Is it St. Francis's or St. Francis's?
I don't know. I'm not an English teacher anymore.
The plural of St. Okay, he has relinquished the English crown. And he is.
I don't have to be pedantic anymore.
The plural of St. Francis. I'm going to try to adjust the.
I say y'all and ain't. I'm not allowed to be an English teacher.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah, I did hear that.
Shattering glass.
Dang.
Yeah, man. Okay. I need to put on.
According
I need to put on some more wood.
Secret cave woman Ugg.
St. Francis of Assisi. Yeah. So if you've been around for 800 years, like people are going to have heard about you. It's just a matter of trust. That's another Billy Joel. Anyway, so the my order, or the church that I go to, their order, I am not third order, which any Catholic will know what third order is. I'm not third order. Well, I guess I'm laity. I'm just a normal dude. But my order are called the Salesians, and they're the Salesians of Don Bosco. And Don Bosco was a priest who lived in the early to mid 1800s in Italy. So it's not an old order. It's only about 200 years old. So it's not very famous, but the Salesians are one of the largest orders in the entire world. They're almost as large as the Jesuits. I think they're either tied or that's not what I wanted to do. Okay.
We're setting more glass on fire, by the way. Since you can't see it on the live stream.
There we go.
We're gonna burn more.
Oh, I turned it in such a way this time that I think you'll be able to
us up.
You'll be able to see it better. So you should see like a triangle shape, because I am the very model of a modern Trinitarian. I'm animal, a vegetable, and I'm also I'm not vegetarian. Animal, mineral. I am the very model of a modern major general. I'm information, animal, and vegetable, and mineral. I know the kings of England and could quote the facts historical, from Marathon to Waterloo, in order categorical.
So you were saying about your order.
That's the solutions. Yeah. Okay. So the Salesians it started in Italy in the mid 1800s. So it hasn't been around that long. It's like a 170-year-old order, but it's huge, especially in Asia and Africa. And they're known for the youth and the poor. And so that's important. The youth and the poor, that is our specific ministry as Salesians. And they have a high school here on the West Bank in New Orleans. It's called Archbishop Shaw High School. And it's growing, and it's doing very well. It's like the predominant Catholic high school, at least on this side of the Mississippi River in New Orleans. There are other big Catholic high schools, but anyway, it's a boys' high school, by the way. Okay, so
no girls allowed.
Yeah, that's way. Well, there's relationships with the girls' high school, which is nearby, which is called Academy of Our Lady. Okay, so the Salesians, known for the youth and the poor, they're really excellent at vocational training and education for young people in Africa and Asia.
Yeah.
And they have grown immensely because of that ministry, because it's like, hey, we're going to help you become plumbers and electricians and carpenters, and teach you the basic skills needed to develop a vocation, a career.
That's what I wish public school would do more often.
Yeah.
And like just kind of across the board. Anyway, keep going.
So the Salesians are not known for like big theology, but they're known for like the pragmatic love of normal everyday people. And I love my parish for that reason. I love, like, my priest is not like a charismatic, compelling, like a bigger than life priestly character, although he does have an insanely incredible voice. But he is just a genuine, loving, just wants to help people, pragmatic. Like he's extremely down to earth, and like he has his, how do I say this? Like he's almost goofy in some ways, in that like he doesn't care about looking good as a priest. He doesn't care. Like I'll give you an example. So he was in like mass once, celebrating in like the middle of consecration, or not the middle of it, but like he needed to go to the bathroom, and like he just walks off, and he just genuinely says like, when you gotta go, I'm sorry, you gotta, and that's but there are things like that where you see people getting really self-conscious and also self-absorbed about like something like liturgy or something like it has to be done perfect. And like, don't get me wrong. I believe in the real presence in the Eucharist. Like I believe. But what we're really here to do is to love and care for other people. That's what it's really all about. And it's like, if you are not taking the sacraments upon yourself in such a way that you are not using is the wrong word, but you are allowing Christ to be within you to serve and love other people, then what the heck are you doing? And anyway, that's how I feel as a Catholic, and that's why I love my parish, because it's simple and it's humble and it's not doing all that well. And like originally the Salesians had 2 churches, and on the West Bank of the
Mhm.
Mississippi, and now we're down to one. It's one closed, and it's possible even the second church will close, which will be. I don't think that's going to happen in the next year or two, but like if unless we grow, because the thing about it is like as the rest of the country becomes more Catholic, New Orleans is becoming less Catholic. And the reason for that is that New Orleans is historically like ultra Catholic. And as there's a diffusion of religious traditions everywhere, there's a diffusion of Catholics that are disillusioned with the Catholic Church, moving to mega churches, moving to Baptist, etc. And also New Orleans, generally speaking, economically has not been doing great. So people move out of the New Orleans area, especially post-Katrina.
Yeah.
Our archdiocese has been a bankruptcy in no small part due to priest sex abuse scandals, which have rocked everywhere. Like the church is being rocked in every way, shape, or form. Now, I think we're on the other. I think in general, like we're on the other side of those things in that the people that have remained, their faith is strong and they're good Catholic Christians. And our church has like a really strong core set of people who I love very much. But like, is that a guarantee that our church will be successful and will be around 5 or 10 years? I cannot presume to know God's will. Every time in my life I presume to know God's will, I get humbled hard. And I love our church and I love our community. I love the people in our church. But like, I just don't know what the future will hold. And so I refuse to say like, this is what God will do. It's like, I don't know, but I am going to love our church and I'm going to love the people in our church for as long as I'm allowed to do so. And that's just me. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Parents are pissed, but the kids love it.
So sorry if I'm crunching chips on the live stream. I need to eat something.
Well, I'm crunching glass on the live stream. So,
wow.
You know,
this is the crunching session. Grab out your chips. Grab out your kettle. Grab out your glass. Take a hammer to the glass. Chomp your chips. Ups. Go get some rest. Enjoy church tomorrow.
Oh man, Ups is still up. Man, it's gotta be like morning in Cyprus already.
Get some rest, my guy.
Yeah, it's got to be morning.
Take care.
Already.
Thanks for dropping by. Kind of aura that you were here. Kind of aura. The Knicks won the NBA Finals. Congratulations.
Wait. You had another topic. Now that I got a beer and a half in me, we could totally get into this other topic.
Which one? Do you want to go through
the King Arthur?
One?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping we would do that one.
Let's do it, bro.
Okay, so I really frick with. I just use this isn't me drunk saying this word. I use this word all the time. I really frick with King Arthur lore. Legend. I told my girlfriend that like if I could just better embody like a chivalric knight and you could be my fair lady, like that would just be the best thing ever. And I'm not doing a great job of that, but that's different.
There is totally the country aspect of the fair lady and the chivalric knight. You just need to ride a bull or two.
I mean, she's a Southern belle, like through and through. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm talking about my girlfriend on the live stream. It's gonna happen. Sorry, that's the alcohol kicking in.
That's okay.
She's wonderful. I love her. I love her so much. There you go. That's on camera now. So.
Yeah.
Well, she's at a country concert.
What I have written, I have written.
What I've written, what I have said, I have said.
To quote Pilate himself.
Anyway, so I tell my Southern belle often that she's my fair lady, and I am her darling knight. So, gentlemen out there, I hope you can also experience such a thing as that, is to be one's darling knight. Anyway, Arthurian legend, it's great. I was reading John Steinbeck's King Arthur, The Acts of King Arthur and His Noble Knights. This is technically an unfinished work. This is second draft. This is the last work he worked on before he passed away. And he was it was a pretty ambitious project. He was going to attempt to recontextualize or reimagine Malory's Death of Arthur for adolescent boys of the mid-20th century.
Yeah.
He didn't get very far. He covered the story of Merlin, or the origins of Arthur and his coming to kingship. he had a story about Gawain, Marhalt, and Ewan, and he went through the kind of bulk of the act of Lancelot. And there's a very interesting progression. Steinbeck's Prose of Falls, but that's a different conversation. But I was reading it on the. I flew in today to New Orleans.
They flew in.
I flew in.
Oh, you flew in.
They didn't fly in. Oh, I can. I'm almost done with this beer. I could feel it. Anyway, so I was reading it on the plane today, and I was kind of struck. I don't particularly care for reading the origins of Arthur over and over again, but for whatever reason today, it stuck out to me because if it felt very biblical, almost subversive in some respects. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I'm going to do my English teacher thing.
Do your thing, man.
I'm going to do my thing. Uther Pendragon is king of the Britons, king of England, and he is at war with one of his lords who has challenged him, but he's got the total hots for the lord's lady Elaine.
She's a lady.
He's like, yo, kind of want to tap this.
Inappropriate.
My bad. Sorry.
Rein it back.
Forgive me.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
He is desiring this lord's
desiring.
lady.
That's
sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
And so Merlin essentially orchestrates the opportunity for him to be with Elaine, this lady, through this conflict, and through that Arthur is conceived. Mm-hmm. Merlin has a contract essentially with him and says, all right, listen, you can be with Elaine, but once and she will definitely conceive this child, but I'm going to do what I will do with this child, and it will be for your good and for the benefit of the country. And Uther is like, all right, I'm in, I'm game, I'm good. And so this happens, this plays out, and I was just kind of struck by how subversive or perhaps like parallel or reflective it is to kind of Old Testament stories and kind of Christian mythology, if we want to use mythology as a word in this situation. Arthur is born out of strange, almost kind of weird prophet birth means. Elaine has this kind of weird moment in fear that she has no idea who the father is, because the whole thing is that her husband goes to war and goes to battle and dies 3 days before she ends up sleeping with Uther Pendragon, the king of England. And so she's like, but my husband died. I don't know who the father is. This is unknown to me. Later, Uther reveals it to her in conversation. But it's almost got this mysterious, paternal kind of origin.
Yeah.
Very prophetic. It's not Christ by any means, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's almost a version of that.
It almost, to me, it feels like going back to the Greeks and the Romans also in how, for example, like a Roman god would conceive. I mean, in this case, it's a king, but how a Roman god would conceive of a or a Greek god would conceive of, for example, Hercules.
Yeah. I was reading the chat. Sorry.
No, you're good.
I was just kind of surprised in reading this, how even, and it's Mallory through the lens of Steinbeck, through his writing, how reflective it is of Christian storytelling, through Old Testament stories, and dare I say, in some New Testament stuff early on. And that really struck me in a way that has never struck me before. I've kind of taken the origins of Arthur for granted.
Yeah.
And then what's really important too is that he has this kingly origins or royal origins, and it's unbeknownst to him for the majority of his adolescence and coming of age.
Well, that's I think particularly important in character formation. I mean, you see that in Harry Potter, but there are plenty of other stories there where it's like the king or the person who is destined for greatness cannot know about their origins. The origins are important, but they have to, in some ways, I mean, that is Christ's story, in that you have the descent from King David from both his mother and his adopted father Joseph, but his origins have to be secondary to sort of the humble beginnings or the childhood experiences that form him to be prepared for what he has to face.
Secret Cave Woman Ugg says some Uriah stuff, but she didn't say stuff. She said the other word.
Oh, gotcha.
It's got some Uriah stuff there.
The secret's out.
It's some Solomon stuff, yeah. There's a great, and then the other thing that stuck out to me was kind of, if we want to look at like the miracles of Christ, hear me out on this one.
Yeah.
Despite being 2.5 beers in, 2 beers in, 3 beers in.
You're good.
So Lewis, in I guess an essay on miracles, not his text miracles, but another one, says that miracles that Christ presents are in line with the natural world and that which God, who is the King of the universe and creator of the earth and the natural process of the earth, does.
Yeah.
Water will eventually turn into wine through other processes naturally, right?
Yes.
Grain or bread will be multiplied to the 5 to the 7,000, right? Naturally along long processes, right? The waves and the seas and the winds will be calmed, not instantaneously per se, but eventually, right?
Yeah.
These are the miracles that Christ presents to the world.
Yep.
Right. Not including resurrection of the dead. And so these are very much in line. And as Lewis would describe, that these miracles may seem pedestrian or tame to us today, but are very much in line with the natural works of the God of the universe. And I thought it was really cool. The miracles, or the strange acts and works of God seemingly in English mythology, if we want to say that, or Arthurian legend, are so unnatural. It's really interesting that deem royalty, that deem birthright, that deem legitimacy. Early on, right? So Arthur is deemed King of England to the masses, to the public, through the sword and the stone, which just miraculously appears in the church in witness to the priests in the Church of Canterbury, to which most people call BS on early on. A lot of these lords and kings and knights are like, ain't no way this is happening, you know. We're not going to take this beardless boy to be King of England. This is lame. This is some malarkey, malarkey.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's really interesting that the miracles and the works and the acts present in Arthurian legend are actually quite unnatural in these things. And I wonder how much of that, and this is just be freeballing, how much of that is also some of that Celtic pagan influence from the country and from the
nation. Around what year was this written? Or did these stories, were they told orally to start?
That's a long, I mean, they're all documented, they're all written. It's not necessarily oral. Not that there's a King Arthur in lore or in history, but there is, you know, it's an evolving mythology, I suppose.
Gotcha.
And in some respects, it is very Celtic in origin. In some respects, it is very much obviously born out of the Christian tradition that enters the West through Rome, which I really appreciate and enjoy about Arthurian legend too, is that it is kind of, in some ways, a blend of these two spaces, for better, for worse. And it makes it so very distinctly Western, I think, too. And kind of, Steinbeck says that gallantry, or perhaps maybe even to an extension, he doesn't say this, but chivalry, and kind of that which we kind of perceive as that, is a very uniquely Western idea that does not necessarily exist elsewhere. He has this in his introduction or his foreword.
Does it not exist within samurai, or did samurai really just take what was there? Yeah.
I would argue maybe that those ideas were conceived independently, given how isolationist Japan has historically been.
Yeah.
But I also think Bushido is pretty different than maybe.
Yeah, no, you're right.
French
you're right.
chivalry.
I think the samurai didn't have that sense of. I don't think gallantry is something that would enter into their psychosocial imaginary.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way.
But even with this gallantry that's in place in the West, or within Arthurian legend, you know, historical kind of commentators or etc. would say that like chivalric code was really just a justification for violence and for kind of this kind of romantic pursuit of individuals, etc. And I think it's really interesting that we maybe as a culture, at least me, I really like the idea of chivalry as we have deemed it according to the West.
Yeah.
And
No, I
perhaps
agree
maybe
with
it
you
was
on
never
that.
like that.
Well, okay, how closely connected is the idea of chivalry, which predates the Protestant Reformation? How closely connected is that to this idea of, everyone should discover the truth of the Gospels, the truth of God for themselves, and in so doing, they will be able to treat each and every individual as a child of God, behave honorably, regardless of, thank you, regardless of the situation. Like, in some ways, I see that chivalric instinct as a predecessor for, I don't even want to say the Protestant Reformation. What I want to say is something like inward out Christianity, where, like, the chivalric instinct is something like when you are in a situation where you could do otherwise, where you have the power to do otherwise, when you have the power to do ill, that you voluntarily choose to do good. You voluntarily, even when you could get away with not doing good, that it's like, no, 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 this is actually just the right thing to do, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that regardless of who's watching, what I can get away with. I'm just going to do the right thing.
I mean, it's inextricably tied to the Christian ethic.
Yeah.
Yes. Historically, though, I don't know if chivalry is really actually that which we maybe perceive it to be now, though. Like, it is kind of maybe a justification for violence against others, etc. Whatever, we can get to that later.
Okay.
But like what we have kind of transformed it as culturally has transcended that, which maybe it was initially.
Interesting. So chivalry, let's say 600 years ago or 700 years ago, was not that act of, okay, I'm going to take on risk, or I'm going to sacrifice myself for the innocent, for the person that cannot protect themselves, or the person that cannot help themselves.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. That's not what chivalry was back then.
I mean, don't quote me on this. I was listening to Malcolm Dwight, whom I love, and Jonathan Pajot talking about Galahad, or not Galahad. What's the Parzival? And he said that Dwight said that what we understand as like romance within like a marriage was not a concept that came out of the West. It was something that came out of the East.
Interesting.
Because where a lot of, I think, our understanding of chivalry and romance is French in nature, is extramarital. It's affair-based. The idea that romance, eros, true love, etc., could be found in a marriage is baseless or silly.
Not based.
Right. It's not based. Yeah. Or not based in such things existed. But the East, I think, suggested such the opposite. And we kind of co-opted that.
I know it appears our fire is dying or dead. But let me tell you, it is only, actually, we are nearing the end of our fire. However, I will say it's got one good burn left in it, and you're about to see it start right now.
Oh yeah. Get ready. Get ready.
Based.
Got him. Our idea of romance.
Oh, ye of little faith.
But where was I going with this? I don't remember. T.H. White has a really great kind of idea, perhaps, that he gets from Mallory, that he's using as a critique of the 20th century and World War II of the culture and might makes right. Like Arthur institutes the Round Table as a means by which to channel the violence and the gross energies of his knights. There's a lot of infighting, there's a lot of tensions, and he says, well, you can use all these energies to do good.
Yeah.
You can use all these energies that you have, whatever it is, want for violence, for conflict, for battle, to help those who need help. And in T.H. White's telling, in The Once and Future King, that does a lot of good. And that's how we get Camelot, that's how we get the noble acts of the knights, that's how we get the Round Table as we perhaps perceive it generally, culturally, but essentially that peters out and that does not persist and does not last very long. And that eventually the infighting and the conflicts and struggles between the knights and those around persist. To which that's why the Grail Quest comes about. The Grail Quest is a response to the dwindling telos that was the chivalric code. We've cleared out all the brigands and those who would do harm to the innocent, and now our internal infighting between the Orkneys and those of the other lands will continue and remain. And now there's nowhere else we can channel such violence and anger. I think everybody should read T.H. White's The Once and Future Game. It's really good. But I don't remember where I was going with this. I don't. But I don't know. I think that the chivalric code has evolved culturally, conceptually, in the Western public's mind. And I really like to try to embody that mindset now. That's where I'm at with that. I've lost my thoughts. I'm going to read comments instead.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Secret Cave Woman Ugg says, not an accident. Arthurian stuff was super popular at the time as Westerns. True. Also look up Knight Riders 1981, where their steeds are motorcycles. That's kind of aura. I kind of mess with that.
Yep. That makes a lot of sense. Motorcycles make so much sense now.
The Secret Cave Woman Ugg also says the service toward a woman and virtue in the chivalric tradition is merry in pattern. Then she also says, related to the heroic thing for men we were discussing earlier, what the feminine does for men. Yeah. I really like the idea too of the lady of the court, to which a knight takes essentially as their kind of their stand or their tribute. On all the acts that they perform are in their service and in their honor. I really like that. That's really cool. It's pointing upwards. It's pointing to something higher.
Yep.
See Mallory's Gawain, Lancelot, Galahad regression. Yeah. I think the evolution from Gawain to Lancelot to Galahad, who in many respects, and in White's version as well, is compared unto the angels. Is almost saint-like. Galahad is almost perfect. He is the offspring, right, of Arthur's closest friend, the best knight of the court. And Galahad is one of the very few who gets to ascend essentially to heaven after finding the Grail.
Oh, wow.
He's one of the few that succeeds in the Grail quest. There's like maybe 3 of them that make it out of that alive. White makes a really interesting case in the Once and Future King, maybe recontextualizing some of that in his text once the brigands are cleared from England, once kind of peace is brought to it, right? The infighting exists. And so Arthur needs another cause or a reason for the knights to continue on their adherence to an upholding of the chivalric code. And the Grail quest is suggested. Well, holy relic needs to be sought out, to which they will purify their hearts and minds, and they will begin on this adventure for something greater than that which exists on this kind of terrestrial plane. But the problem with the Grail quest, in White's text at least, is that barely anybody's going to make it out alive. And those who do make it out alive are going to be horribly scarred and maimed. And those who do, and that's in every version of the text, right? Those who do succeed, they don't come back. You don't come back from the Grail quest. Right? And if you do, you're the one who simply bears witness to those who succeeded.
Wow.
And Lancelot is kind of the only one, maybe outside of Gawain, depending on the text, right, who survives and bears witness to the successes or the absolute failures of the Grail quest.
Wow.
White also makes mention, kind of in his recontextualization of Mallory's Arthur, that the Grail quest is a far too late integration of the religious side of kind of England into the Round Table. Might makes right, or we use our strength to protect those who are good, is kind of the telos of the court for a time. And when that is not sufficient, you then bring in God in the last minute.
The Grail
That
quest is
not,
almost like a quest for the Holy Spirit.
yeah, at least in Mallory, or
Yeah.
at least in White's interpretation, perhaps. I've not read Parzival.
Mhm.
I would like to get a copy. I almost bought one in Jacksonville when I was up there. There's a cool bookstore there. I got lost in it, and I almost bought one. It was Penguin Classic copy, but yeah, if I told my students this. That, you know, when we say like, this is my white whale, this is my grail, like, what are you willing to sacrifice for your grail? Like, there's going to be a cost. Things will be sacrificed at the altar by which you are able to obtain that which you have sought so desperately or so earnestly.
Mm-hmm.
And in Mallory's Arthur, in White's Arthur, most people are not able to offer that which is necessary to obtain the grail. And,
that's still too firm. This one I can puncture.
So yeah, I think we veered off from the idea of Mallory.
No,
like Arthur is like Christian mythology, but
you have captivated my attention with this idea of the Holy Grail. We all have this idea of the Holy Grail, in that for each of us there is something that is currently out of reach, or that we're hoping for, or searching for, or looking for. And that is an inherently feminine symbol, because the Grail is a container. The Grail is something that holds the blood of Christ. It's the feminine unreachable that the masculine strives for. And yet, yeah.
We're talking about the Grail, McMo. We're talking about the Grail.
Oh, he's up late.
He just jumped in. Hi, McMo. Welcome. Accidentally misquoted you or misattributed a comment from Matt C to you. So sorry about that.
Yeah, that was like 2 hours ago. That was a long time ago. Yeah. No, I think we're getting near the tail end of this live stream. But,
oh yeah.
The thing is, like, now that you have found your Grail, you can't ascend. You actually have to steward it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I found my Grail.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. And I'm enjoying the process of stewarding the Grail far more than I ever enjoyed seeking the Grail. But it's kind of crazy too, because despite the Grail quest, it was not by my own strength that it was earned.
Man does not live by bread alone.
It's not by anything, freaking anything I did to get the Grail.
There's a grace point for Mr. McMo.
What did McMo say? Says Henry gets a lady friend and suddenly he's a wise. Well, that's like the 3 beers I'm in now. So
no, it.
That NBA.
You are making me think about the unreachable, and yet.
Thank you, Secret Cave Woman Ugg, for coming in. She says, "Baby duties call. Nice hanging with y'all tonight. Take care. Good night. Thanks for hanging out for as long as you did.
I met her
on
in
this
person
live stream
in Austin.
Kind of aura. Kind of awesome that you've been sticking around.
She was wonderful.
McMo says you guys should say like and subscribe to Neil's channel. Hit the bell for notification. Smash that subscribe button.
This is my anti-prophilicity channel. I have a prophilicity channel, and that's actually being remarkably successful as of late. I don't know what's going to come of it. In fact, how do I say this? I look forward to the prophilicity of my prophilicity channel to the extent that it is able to edify and help the people I love. And there are certain people that I love that, if it does well, because we're releasing a game. So, okay, this was my idea. This was my idea. I'll give you the whole spiel. The Neil spiel. A lot of resentful, lost young men. That it's the Petersonian. I mean, this is a caricature, and this is not the case for many of them, but it's the sitting in their parents' basement playing video games, and just not having anything deeper or more substantive to aim for. And the thing about it is that when I aimed for something hard, it didn't matter. I don't think it mattered what it was, but when I aimed for something hard that was good, and this was Peterson that encouraged me to do that, then my entire life was restructured around that aim, or it put a newfound discipline into my life.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happened, that I was aiming for something good, and it was difficult, it was a difficult mountain to climb, then God entered into my life. And so my premise is like, well, how do you get guys that love games?
Mm-hmm.
And they love games, and I understand why they love games, because I loved games for the same reason for many years. And that is that you are able to lose yourself in an experience that is so rich and fulfilling and deep, and you are able to play the protagonist that really matters and takes on a life of its own in a world of capabilities where you can do things that can't even dream of those things in physical reality, in real life, what we call meat space. You could be heroic. You could take on the mantle of the 13th century warrior, but you can bring in the magic and the enchantment, and you can do all of that. But it's not really nostalgia, because it's these deep instincts within masculinity that we are meant to slay dragons. We are meant to do hard and remarkable things. And so that instinct, I know why men play video games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the real question is like, what makes them reach beyond that? What begins the process of physical instantiation into reality, whatever that is?
Yeah.
The ladies of a certain ilk would call it manifesting.
I mean, a D1 baddie manifested a lot for me.
Yeah. And the thing about it is like, what would be the John the Baptist equivalent for like make straight the paths of the Lord? What would be the John the Baptist equivalent for the video game addicted, not really having hope in anything else? And it's like, so an epiphany that came to me, it's probably about 7 years ago now. It's around Petersonian times. It's before COVID. An epiphany, and I was at Disney World, and the epiphany that came to me was like, oh, the move from childhood to adulthood is something like living in someone else's imagination to moving and pivoting into your own imagination.
Okay.
To developing and building your own imagination.
Yeah.
The thing about the Disney ride is, as long as exciting as the Disney ride of the roller coaster is, you are still within a confined space with a constricted and a rehearsed script. You will always follow the script. And in fact, if the roller coaster doesn't follow the script, that's called a lawsuit.
Yes.
You are living out a rehearsed production of someone else's imagination. And what it means to be an adult is to take your imagination and meld that with the world and live it out in an adventure that's actually unpredictable. And that unpredictability can only happen with other people. Because within your own space, everything is predictable. If I do X or I do Y or I do Z, whatever it is, like, okay, I do X or Y or Z. But then the question is, when I do X or I do Y and then Henry's here with A or B or C, what's going to happen? That's the adventure.
That's
the real adventure of adulthood is taking your imaginal and applying that with other people. That's the real adventure of adulthood. And so my idea was like, okay, we got the step from video game to, because I realized with something like Minecraft, and I know our fire is burning. I'll try to keep it going a little bit.
Just a bit longer.
Just a bit longer. Yeah, I'll just fan the flames.
Start sending in your chats. Manifest the fire chat.
Yep.
Ask your questions.
Yeah.
Make your comments.
Donate to McMo's Ko-Fi.
Yeah, donate to the fire going. Go to his channel.
Go to McMo's
Give him money.
You got to go to Ko-Fi.
Drop big money for him.
It's /MCMOSAF. Or no, V.
It is V. It is V.
Sorry, V is in victory. Declare victory in your heart, and the rest will follow. See? And then the fire will return.
Please drop money in McMo's Ko-Fi right now. Right now.
McMosif.
If you really enjoyed this stream, go give him money.
Donate to McMosif.
Not us.
I don't have something I can pull up immediately on the.
I wish so.
Shame, but
I can't.
Okay, so the realization was like, yeah, so what does it take to move from a video game player to a video game builder?
Yeah.
And it's actually not as much as you think, because there are many games that play with that in between. And Minecraft, I think, is probably the best known example, where you could do things in Minecraft that are basically, you can make your own games.
Right. The redstone programming that exists just as the internal system.
Exactly.
Make
and
a YouTube channel money off
it's really not a far jump to go from like playing an open-ended game where you could develop your own scripts and your own mechanics to making a giant burp that's delicious and delightful to the audience. It's not a big jump at all. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna break some cardboard up too. Throw it on. See what's happening.
No, that'll work. What I just did, that was the first good wood placement I did all night. All night long.
And yet God has provided with a pretty baller bonfire all night for as long as we've been streaming.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Got him.
So yeah, that was my thought. It's like, hey, you got to pivot. But here's the thing: in order to start developing your own imagination, it's the Petersonian self-discipline. In order to learn something, you actually have to first be self-disciplined enough to receive instruction.
Yeah.
And that's hard. And most people don't voluntarily apply themselves. Like, most people are not autodidacts.
Right.
I don't know how to instill the autodidact spirit in more people. I don't know how to do that. That's honestly the thing about the corner that has impressed me. Now, it's not the thing that's impressed me the most. It's probably top 3. That the people in here have that spirit of autodidacticism, in that they are searching and they are open on their own terms. They are not waiting for a prescribed imaginary from somebody else. They're like, no. I have a duty to search, to be a seeker. I have a duty. It's guided by the Holy Spirit, but I have a duty. And maybe it's not duty. Maybe it's a necessity that, like, it just drives them, and it's like a splinter in their mind driving them mad, in the words of the Matrix.
Well, it's funny because, like, autodidacticism, kind of a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Learn that in the ministry. You learn enough about church, its history, doctrine, structure, conduct, etc. Role of an individual, role of the deacons, according to certain translations, the role of other servants, and you go, oh gosh, am I qualified for this? Am I worthy enough? Am I worthy, responsible, able, qualified to take up such responsibility?
None of us are.
No, none of us are. None of us are. Right? So then the question, right, is, well, what can you do to, at best, step up to the plate in a do your best to try and embody that role.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's great.
That's why I left.
Yeah.
So video games, you're building, you create your own imagination, or use your imagination to create a world of your own, as opposed to participating in that which has already been built for you.
Yeah. So my journey there started with hubris, because it's like, I want to build my own role-playing game, and it's actually, I would say the starting out in hubris is good. Like that's what young men are supposed to do. Like the demoralized young man is a terrible thing. We don't know how to deal with that in today's society. The hubristic young man, that's just Don Quixote. That's okay. We can transcend Don Quixote. Right. We know how to do that.
Well, it's easier to combat or to bring a remedy to somebody who, I suppose, is arrogant, has gumption, has potential, has energy.
Yeah.
Versus somebody who is defeated, nihilistic.
Yeah.
At the edge, at the end of the rope. It's harder to extend a hand of help to them.
I don't know what it is that makes people like get out of the boat the way Jesus walking on water made Peter. So Peter was the one that's like, Lord, if you call to me, I'm going to get out of this boat.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wouldn't get out of the boat. We were talking about the signal chats earlier. I think Parlato would be the only schmuck to get out of the boat. I think I've said that to him publicly over signal. But like, so like sometimes you need the wild ones.
Yeah.
And we don't, like, I don't think I'd get out of the boat. I'd be scared shit. Like,
I'm far too like oldest child responsible to be doing something like that.
Yeah.
Which is why it's taken so long.
And Peter was married and he still got out of the boat.
Yeah.
That's, man.
It's funny when like in like the tradition and culture I grew up in, of like the Southern Baptists or evangelicals, like, oh, that Peter, ha ha ha. And you're like, no, you kind of wish you could only be Peter. Or like when you are, you won't admit it. But you kind of you could only wish you were Peter in certain situations.
Yeah. And it's like, on this rock I will build my church. And he's like, the most, what's the word? Temperamental.
Yeah.
Right. He just, something catches him on this rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, on this fire I will build my church.
Yeah.
I find that remarkable. Just absolutely remarkable. But so I look, I don't know, in people, I look for that fire. I look for that unpredictability. I was talking to my wife about this actually with AI, because my wife hates AI with a passion, but she can't kind of verbalize why she hates it like so much. And what I was saying to her was like, AI is not allowed to have favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has to give the baseline polite answer.
Yeah.
It can't go above the polite or beyond it.
Right.
It can't say, no. It can't be like, no. I actually like care about you, Henry. Like, I actually like you.
Right.
Like, it can't do that above and beyond different in other people. And so it's our ability to actually bias in favor of things and actually love things over other things, or make kind of like reckless desires or reckless judgment. And I don't want this to come across wrong, because like I realize those are dangerous things, but it's precisely our ability to be dangerous that makes us human. And it's precisely our ability to choose wrongly and choose some things as highest or higher that makes us human. It's not a flat landscape when we think about the divine versus thinking about what we're going to eat tomorrow. And the AI has to treat everything as a flat, equally valid landscape of any question, no matter how provocative it is.
Yeah. favoritism or picking favorites, as dangerous as it is in some respect its own almost natural selection.
I don't see it as that, but it is
Well-
built. It is built into the structure of being. You're right that it's somehow like the way I think of it is like, so okay, if you imagine a world without quality, so in any domain, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be a tree growing. It could be in washing dishes. It could be in cooking. It doesn't matter what it is. There's a quality spectrum of excellence to, you know, poor, whatever it is. It doesn't in any domain. And the quality spectrum is the real problem of existence, because it's like Jesus has favorites.
Yeah.
What the hell is that? Like the beloved disciple. There's only 3 that go to the transfiguration. On this particular one of the 13, why did Jesus only go to one part of the world and didn't go to China? He didn't go to he didn't go here. He didn't go there. What about everybody else? It's a very provocative thing. It's something that makes people uncomfortable. And in fact, I would say in my Bible study, the idea that Jesus had favorites, that made especially the young women, the girls in the Bible study I was teaching, that made them quite uncomfortable. I think it's something that there are other things biblically that men, or what Jesus teaches, that men struggle with. But I think that is something that flies in the face of the natural instincts of women to be more egalitarian, more loving of all, more welcoming of all. And it's not that Jesus isn't. But
it's interesting you say that. One of the phenomenon of teaching I've found is that certain students will inevitably be your favorite.
Yeah.
And some of that almost is just predisposed to their nature or their personality or disposition.
Yep.
Versus others.
Yep. And in many ways, as a teacher, you have to fight against that instinct.
Yes, there are certain kids who are troublemakers and who are just nearly just as disruptive or ill-behaved as others, and the only reason why they are more tolerable, or perhaps, and maybe this is a failing of myself as a teacher and as an educator, can get away with more, can tolerate more, is because of their disposition and their personality. There are more charming, and those who are less charming or personable, unfortunately, receive maybe more discipline, or simply maybe less favorable treatment. And I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that at all. And I have innumerable examples of that on my plate, I suppose, or on my conscience. And I'll deal with that. I have to deal with that. But what does it take then, right? I guess would be asked, to be favored or to have favor found. And even so, and even in that situation, like, that's all grace. That's hesed.
Yeah.
That's faith. That's loving kindness and faithfulness. That is not something that is, it might be innate in you, but it is not because you yourself cultivated that. Yeah,
no, that's exactly it. It's not. I've tried to imagine a world that's actually devoid of the phenomenon of quality.
Yeah.
And it goes back to, it becomes very 1984-ish.
Right.
It's like all left brain, where the world is just entirely pragmatic, where it's like everything is done as a system. There is no unpredictability, and there's no pain or suffering, but there's also no joy. It just unfolds as a completed system.
Yeah.
That's entirely totalitarian and utopian, but also meaningless, because it just plays out like clockwork, and there's no ability to make a good or bad decision, because everything is equally qualitatively good or bad.
Right.
So it just plays out. And so it seems to me like the price of quality is the price of giving up our pride to allow God to be the ultimate arbiter in our lives, and in ultimate judgment of what's going to rise and what's not. And so if we're willing to give up like what we think is best quality wise, and then it's like, oh, it's going to be way better than what our limited capacity is. But then we have to accept this phenomenon of quality, that God is going to make some things happen and not other things, whatever that is. But it requires us to sacrifice our perception of whatever that should or will be.
It's really good. Yeah.
The Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, and that was one of the women that was really instrumental early in the corner. Name is Sevilla King. She's not really active anymore, but that was her obsession. That was her holy grail, was Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. And reading that book, that was a compelling, like, that really made me think about this whole question of quality. It's because we always think about the transcendentals, like goodness, beauty, and truth. But in all three of the transcendentals, and really everything else, there's a qualitative domain of how true, how beautiful, how good. And there's some things that scale up all the way into infinite. I need a smoke shifter for you.
That's fine. I'll breathe in the smoke. What is that song? Smoke gets in your eyes. Something, something. I don't know that song very well. It's on the American Graffiti album.
Yeah. We're basically, I've used up the majority of the things I wanted to burn.
Yeah.
And at the same time, fire is coming to an end. Now I have some cardboard and stuff, but that's all there to start the fire, not in the fire. And so, what do you think? Closing thoughts for this live stream? Land the plane. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the common threads that has come up at this point now is one, we want to use probably a more Protestant term, providence and sovereignty of God.
I do like that term. You're right that term of providence is not used in the Catholic Church, but grace absolutely is.
That comes to my mind right now. Yeah. And Hesed, which is the Hebrew for faithfulness, or maybe it's loving kindness. I don't remember offhand. And I'm sitting here with you and doing this bonfire, and I kind of said it to you, but I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, it was so natural and so easy to come and pull up to New Orleans, and you're just there pulling up to your car in the airport, and I just hopped in.
Hey, I was 4 minutes late.
But like, that was so easy. I was like, all right, this is what we're doing. And I was busy with work, and I was looking forward to this, but there was no like anxious anticipation. And then I pulled up, and it just felt like it was like a normal Saturday night. Like I could just drive home tomorrow now. I mean, I guess I will, but like how easy this was, how easy this was to do, and how natural this was to do. And that is Hesed. And
it's beautiful.
That which God has presented in my life and blessed me with, like I've sucked. Like I've sucked so bad. I've been so bad. He pulled me out into the desert. I've done such a bad job in the wilderness. And yet, like, here I am, and I have that which I've wanted for so long, and he has finally, given me that. And now I'm here with you, and he has done so much for you and us, and it's overwhelming, and it's crazy, and there's nothing that we can do to keep it or to, do anything to hold it tighter in a tighter grip or anything. Like, he just has given us it. He's like, here. And it's hard to fathom sometimes. It's just really cool. That's all I got. That's my landing the plane.
That's awesome. Yeah.
All right. What are your land the plane thoughts before we?
No, I'm just watching this smoke percolate upwards to heaven, and I'm thinking, are we making a pleasing aroma to the Lord, the right sacrifice? And but I'm watching this billowing smoke, and it's just so beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's all the laws of physics. It's all governable by simple equation, supposedly, over my head, but like,
Sure.
but yet it's so random and beautiful. And that combination of the structure, but also the spirit, the unpredictability, that he's not a tame lion, in our stories. And I'm so grateful to God. Like I don't want a standard script. I don't even want a life devoid of suffering. It'd be nice at times, but
Sure.
I don't like the smoke blowing in my face right now. I don't even,
It's your turn. It's your
yeah,
turn.
it's my turn. Exactly. My turn to suffer. So be it, Lord. So be it. And eventually the smoke will pass. And then anyway.
This is some good stuff.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's in the chat. Hi, my love. I hope you enjoyed your concert.
It's amazing.
I will text you later. I love you.
Yeah.
Soon,
soon, because we're ending this very
we are
soon.
wrapping this up.
Yeah, yeah. As the fire dies. So no, I think we'll end it there. And thank you all for listening to us meander, ramble on, and keep the faith. And if you're at a place in your life, if you're listening to this and you're at a place in your life where things seem really uncertain, pray, keep the faith. And when you're ready, when you are even brought to a lower place than you anticipated needing to be brought to, that's when God makes his ultimate move, and he will.
You don't expect it either.
He
It's
will.
kind of shocking. It just kind of happens too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all.
Bye all.
Have a
Hope
good
you
night.
Enjoyed.